There we go. Welcome to the next of our live strength and conditioning classes. It is the beginner class today, and this one has been received really, really well. Shona, nice to see you again. Nice to have you on.
Sure, Brad. It's good to be here. I actually, this is probably one of my favorite classes. I know it's new, but I actually get so much enjoyment out of this class because it's teaching everyone the basics.
Absolutely. Sorry, let me just make sure I turn my phone off. As always, please do make sure that if you are joining us live, make sure your cameras are on and your microphones are off so that we can keep an eye on you. Make sure you're doing the sort of form and technique 100% correct. And then also, if you've got any questions or if you've got any sort of pre-existing conditions that you are struggling with, if you have a dodgy shoulder or a dodgy knee, please do let Shona know in the comments as well if there is anything that you need help with. Shona, I'm going to hand it over to you, and then we'll take it from there.
Awesome. Thanks, Brad. Cool. I see Stephen's on with us today, and Steve, welcome. I thought you were off sailing, but it's cool to have you. So head tomorrow. Yeah. So Steve, yeah. I mean, I'll take you through some basics today. I'm trying to think what we need from an equipment point of view. We don't actually need anything, so we're going to go through 4 movements today. Okay. So let's just start off. We're going to warm up first. So if you can just be standing up, we're going to do some leg swings. So just hold on to something and just slowly take your leg up, forward, and back, slowly extending it up, slowly increasing the range. You can balance with something, Steve, as well. So if you need to balance on something, please do. Yeah, rather, it's just better to have something to balance on. And just do 10 on each side. Welcome, Chris. Welcome. We've just started, so you can just start warming up. So leg swings forward and back and side to side. And once you've done your forward back, just go side to side. Ten on each side. When you're going all the way across the body, good, and slowly increasing that range. Well done. Okay. Good stuff. I'll just let you guys finish those. All right, just 10 on each side, side to side. Good, and from there, just again, holding on to something for balance, cross one leg over the other, and just kind of sit yourself down. You'll feel that stretch in the glutes. Then just do the other leg as well. And we do 1 on each leg, 1 on each leg, 5 on each leg. Sorry. So stretching out on the glutes. Good. Just do 5 on each leg. And you can hold it for a little bit longer, but we don't want to make it a static stretch. You want it to stay nice and dynamic. Good. Well done. Just sitting yourself back. Feel that in the glutes. And just do 5 on each side. You can change sides as well. So go one left, right, left, right, left, right. It does help. Otherwise, your one leg's going to get a bit tired. Okay, when you're done with those, we're going to stretch our hamstrings. So the way we do that, point your toe up to the sky, straight leg. And then from there, you scoop, almost like you're picking something up with the ground. Just scoop your hand next to your ankle, change sides. Same thing on the other side. So we're going to do 5 of those. Bending over, keeping the leg straight. Even if you can't go down to the ground, that's fine. Good. You'll feel with each one, you'll actually be able to go a little bit further each time. Yeah, Steve, even if you don't go all the way down, so just as long as your leg is straight, even if you just roll in there, you just want to feel that in that hemi a little bit. Yeah, so one leg straight and just bending down and just, yeah, that's perfect. Try and bend over, good. And feel that in the hamstring. Well done. Try and do one leg. So you want to go on the right side, stand up straight, on the left side, stand back up straight. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, try to alternate legs, Steve. So one leg and then back to the middle and then go to the other leg, back to the middle. Okay. All right, and then let's just do a nice mobility stretch. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to take a big step in front of you into like a nice lunge position. This front knee is a bit bent, so the back knee is off the ground if possible. So if your right leg is forward, left hand goes onto the ground, and you try and put your elbow down to your ankle, hold it for 1-2 seconds, and rotate yourself up. Okay, and we do 5 on one side. Like that, rotating nicely. So Steve, yeah, take your left, which leg is up there? Take your left hand, your left elbow, and you want to get your left all the way down to your ankle. That's it. And then you rotate up. That's it. There we go. And then back down to the bottom. And then rotate it back up. Good. And you should feel that in the hips. Do 5 on each side. Nice. Yeah, that looks good for now. Nice and slow. Don't rush. Really pushing each one. Hold for 2 seconds. Hold for 2 seconds. Do 5 on each side. Good. Well done. Take your time. Don't rush. I'm just going to wait for everyone to finish. From there, we're going to be sitting down on your mat. Okay. Let me just turn this camera angle slightly. All right. So sitting down on your mat, your feet are going to be quite far away from your bum and also quite wide. So don't have your feet too close together, quite wide. And from there, you're going to drop. You're trying to get both knees down onto the ground. So you're going to rock yourself and put both knees down onto the ground. Try and do it with your hands up. If you can't, just use your fingertips gently behind you. And you want to get, yeah, both knees down flat. Try and do it with your hands up. Really just opening up the hips. And you almost want this knee to land behind the heel. So you're not necessarily too close, but just nicely down on each side. Good. So just rock those knees down. That's it. Yeah, good, Chris. That's good. Nice, Steve. And again, we're going to try to do 5 on each side. Good. Well done. Trying to keep the upper body up. Eventually, we'll progress this to standing up, but we're not going to do that now. Just showing you guys. So just get those 5 rocks on each side. Good. And then last little warm-up one that we're going to do, just again, just standing up on your mat. You're going to roll yourself over, even if your knees are bent, that's fine. So your hands touch the ground. Then you're going to walk yourself out into a nice push-up position. And then from there, try and walk your feet back in. Stand yourself up, and we do that again. Okay. So rolling yourself down, even if your knees are bent, that's fine, but try and keep them as straight as you can. Walk out into a push-up position, and then roll yourselves back in. And we're going to do 5 of those in total. Good. So hands down, that's it. Even if you bend your knees, good. Walk out, straight body. Good. And then walk your feet to your hands. That's it. As best you can and as close to your hands as you can. That's it. And stepping up. Just 5 of those. I'll join you guys because your technique looks good. Trying to keep the legs as straight as you can, but if you can't, you need to bend the knees, that's fine. Nice. All done? Okay. When you guys are done, don't rush, rather just take your time. Wait for everyone. Good. Well done, Chris. That looks good. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to start with the first sort of exercise that I use. It's called the hip hinge. So the way I'm just going to show it first, and then you guys can try and copy me and do what I'm doing. From the side, the way this exercise, what it looks like, is there's a slight bend in the knee, but you're not moving in the knees. You're just bent, you're not having your knees locked, right? So just slight bend, and the movement is, it's called the hip hinge for the reason. It's because the movement hinges at the hip, right? And you're bending yourself down. So that's what the movement looks like. The way we do that is have a slight bend, you stick your bum out, and you're almost pushing your bum back into that movement. Okay. So if we can do that, please, I just want to see how you guys do, and then I can correct any techniques. But essentially slight bend, and then just hinge at the hip, pushing the bum back, body straight, and back nice and straight. Okay, can you guys do about 5 reps of those, and then I can see if there's anything I need to change. Do it from the side. That's it. So bum back. Yeah, nice, Chris. Good. Okay, Steve, that's good. Just have your shoulders pulled back. So imagine your shoulder blades sticking together. Like you don't want them to open up like that. You want to pull them back nicely. Oh, Stephen's camera's frozen. Chris, those look good. Yeah, better. Well done. Good. Suck in the belly button. So pull that belly button into your spine as well, so that you're not hurting your back. And try and don't let your back be rounded. Make your back nice and straight. So, okay, Steve, one thing, just hold on there. What you're doing, you've got the upper body part right, but what I want you to do is just stick your bum out a little bit more. So you're leaning over, which is great, but just try and push your bum back. Yes, there we go. And then bending down. Good stuff. That's better. Okay. All right, that looks good, guys. That's okay. So now what I want you to do with that exercise is what we call an arabesque. Okay. You can have something to just lean your balance on if you struggle with balance. Preferably we'll get to the point where we don't, but just use your fingers. And what we do is you lift the knee up, and then you take this leg all the way back, and you hinge at the hip. That's why we've got that movement, and you extend that leg. So just watch that from the side. So leg comes up, leg goes all the way back, and we're hinging at the hip. Okay, and try to get that leg straight and bringing yourself back up. Okay, so that's where that hip hinge is so important. And again, this is also called an airplane. You want your hips to stay nice and level, right? You don't want to go up and open up. You want to have these hips nice and level like that. So keep your airplane straight. Don't let the wings of either side go down. Okay, let's do 8 on each leg, nice and slow. Don't rush it. So bring your leg up into a hip flexion. Good, and then take that leg as far back as you can, keeping the hinge in the hip. That's it. And then come back up into the hip hinge. Try not to put your foot on the ground if you can, if you can get that right. All the way back, hinging at the hip. Good, Steve. Well done. And try and get that back leg as straight as you can. Nice, Chris. That looks great. And just concentrate on those shoulders. Don't let those shoulders drop. So nice straight back. Yes, Steve. Well done. We should be feeling this in the hammy. Steve, let me know if your hamstring hurts at all when you do this. Okay, we don't want to be working through any pain. Good job, guys. Yeah, pushing that leg, that bum back. Not too much bending in the knee. So keeping that knee slightly bent, and the movement is in the hip. Hip at the, yeah, hinge at the hip. Get that chest down. Good, that's better. There, Steve, well done. Good. 8 on each side. So yeah, make sure you're counting 8. So hinging yourself down, just looking at just slightly in front of you so that you're not losing your balance too much. Good. Keeping those hips level, pushing those hips. Yeah, don't bend too much in the knee. Keep that, the knee angle doesn't change. Your knee essentially stays at the same angle the whole time. It doesn't move. The balancing knee, that angle here doesn't change. So that stays the same. The movement only comes in the hip. Extend yourself down. And when you come up, bring that hip, the other hip all the way up forward, bend the knee up, straighten your body up. Good. And then extend and leaning over. Okay, Steve, make sure you're bending over in the hip. Yeah, push the chest down, 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 not the knee, bending in the hip. Yeah, there we go. And that back leg back. Yeah, good. Hinge at the hip, hinge at the hip. There we go. Better. Nice, Chris. Well done. Just 8 on each side, guys. Those are looking good so far. Have a little rest. Good. Okay, just 2 things I picked up before we do the next set. Firstly, if you can see me from the side, just make sure that your foot is in this flex position, so not down here. So hold it up there, because that's the way we run. As we run, that's the movement of running. We don't run like that, okay? So in that hip flexion, have that foot up, all right? And really important is when we're going back into the hip hinge, don't bend the knee, okay? It's not a squat, so we're going into the hip hinge here. See, this knee doesn't change angle. The movement comes from the hip, and I'm leaning myself forward there. My knee angle doesn't actually change, okay? So if you see that from the front, my knee stays exactly the same, but the movement's coming at the hip, and I'm letting myself lean forward with the leg extending back. So 2 things for this next round for you to concentrate: bringing your hip all the way up, your knee, toe extended, and then taking yourself back and bending yourself all the way down without changing the angle in your knee. Okay, so keeping that, and then straighten straight up and come again. Okay, let's try that. So 2 more. Oh yeah, we're going to do 2 more sets. So 8 on each leg. You can go again. So another 8 reps on each side. If you have a big foam roller, you're welcome to use this. I'm also just saying this for the people who will watch the recording. This is a nice way to get that extension all the way back. This is really cool because it helps you take your leg up and helps you get your leg all the way back. So this is a great way to learn this exercise as a beginner. Yes, Steve, that's much better. Just look down, just in front of you. Don't look ahead of you, look down in front. Yeah, and then extend that back leg as far back as you can. Toes up. Push that back leg back, try and get it straight. Nice, Chris. Yes, there we go. That's a bit better, Steve. Well done. Try and get that chest almost falling over to the ground. That's a bad way to describe it, but good. And leaning down. If you look just down in front of you, it helps, because then instead of looking up, if you look down here, then your body is going to follow where your eyes go, right? So let's try to look down. Yes, better. And try and get that leg extended all the way back. So if you can, straighten out that back leg, almost like you're pushing something back with it. Yes, well done. And we're going to do 8 on each side. Yeah, looks good. Don't rush. It's a slow movement. And Steve, just concentrate on pushing that back leg all the way back. Straight knee. Yeah, good. 8 on each side. We're going to do 1 more set of that. Just have a little rest in between. Make sure you're recovering. Before you go, I'll just give you 1 more pointer to look at for your last set. I'll just wait for everyone to finish. Okay, for that last set, just watch, guys, that you are leading yourself forward and you're not using just the momentum. So take yourself back, bring yourself straight back to the starting position, and then go back again. All right, you don't want to almost just use the momentum of doing that. Okay, it's a slow, controlled movement. All right, last set. Here we go, 8. 8 reps on each. Yeah, that's a bit better, Steve. Get that chest hinging at the hip. So push yourself a little bit further. Nice, Chris. You've got this down. Well done. Keeping that airplane. So the hips, the wings of your airplane, keeping them nice and straight. This hip bone facing the ground the whole time. Keeping the angle in the knee the same. And remember, the movement comes out of the hip, not out of the knee. Yeah, that's better. There we go, Steve. That one's a good one. Good. Well done. Good. Nice and easy. Yeah, you guys are looking strong. This exercise is quite cool to do barefoot as well, because it just, again, works on that whole kinesthesis, getting everything kind of connected, and it's a bit harder without shoes as well, especially from a balance perspective. And also just some tips, if you are holding onto something, that's cool, try not to hold it. Try to just use your fingertips, because then that also just makes, because obviously if you're holding it, it gives you good stability. Just rest in the fingertips. So foam roller is a nice example. Just put your fingertips on it and extend yourself back. There we go, making it a little bit harder for yourself. Once you feel you've got the balance, then you can let go of holding anything, and we eventually progress that to using weights. Okay, just going to wait for everyone to finish, and then we're going to move on to onto the squat. All right. Okay, so now the squat movement doesn't, Chris, I know you're still busy, but you have been here, so just take your time. The squat movement, people, when they think they're squatting, they just start that squat in the knees, right? So the one thing you really want to watch out for when you're squatting is that your knees don't go over your toes. So if you were to draw a line from here down to the ground, your knees mustn't be passing over the toes. That's not how we squat. So a good way to make sure we don't do that is to do what we do at the hip hinge. Push your bum back as if you're going into the hip hinge, and then sit yourself down. So you can see if I'm in that position, you wouldn't be able to draw a line over my toes. Okay, so that's the first movement. The squat, you don't start it in your knees. Most people squat like that. That's not how we squat. Think about it as if you're sitting back onto a toilet, okay? So sitting yourself back and down, and the goal is that you want your chest facing up. You don't want to have that movement there. You want to just be seated and straight chest up. Okay, so let's do 5 to 10 reps of those, just so I can see what you guys are doing. Bums back, and then sitting yourself down. You can also have your hands out in front of you if it's easier. Give you a bit of counterbalance. You're welcome to do that. I just want to make sure that the technique is right before we do anything else. Yes, nice, Steve. That's great. Good, Chris. Chris, just face me quickly. Yeah. Okay, and then do your squat that way. Nice, Steve. Okay, Chris, you can move your feet slightly wider. Your feet are a little bit too close together. Yeah, now try that way. Steve, that looks good. Just hold, yeah, don't do too many reps, Steve. See you with your weights. Okay, Chris, that's good. Yeah, I think just make sure you can turn around again. That was better. Okay, we are going to do 3 sets of 10 squats. Okay, so Steve, I see you using weights. That's cool. Your technique looks good. Chris, your technique is great. Just try and keep your chest up a little bit more. It might be better for you to have your hands on your hips, just because of like so. Just have your hands like that. Okay, 3 sets of 10 when you guys are ready. Right. Squatting down and up. Okay, when you're ready, you can go. Chris, have your hands here on your hips, not behind. Yeah, just resting on your hips there. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's much better. Nice, Steve. Steve, you've got long legs. You probably could open your stance a little bit as well, just a little bit wider. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Yeah, Steve, that's a good squat. Nice, Chris. Just keep that upper body up. Good. A nice little trick for you is just keep looking at the top of your ceiling as well, like almost at the junction where the wall gets to the ceiling, because then that's also just a nice way to make sure that you're keeping that chest up. Just 10 reps, have a little rest, make sure you're resting in between, and then we'll do another set of 10. Good, Steve. Bumps going back down. Nice. Chest is up. Well done. Good. And don't rush it. Good. Yeah. Yeah, Steve, that looks great. What I like about that squat is also you're getting the full extension at the top. So you're coming down into the squat and you're getting full extension, so pushing the bum forward at the top. So that looks good. I'm chuffed about that because a lot of people sometimes just go here. You want to really have full extension, squeezing the glutes at the top and all the pressures on the heels. So yeah, those are good squats. I'm happy with those. Steve, you don't have any hamstring pain, huh? Your hamstring's good. Okay, good stuff. I'm glad to hear that. Well done. Just 3 sets of 10. Yeah, those are good squats, Steve. Nice, Chris. Good heel pressure. Well done, guys. Chest up, straight back. So concentrate on that belly button as well. Suck that belly button into the spine. You don't want to arch your back too much. So you don't want to be in that position. You want to be core sucked in. And we're doing 3 sets of 10. Once you've done your 3 sets, you can have a little rest. I'm also just trying to get a few squats in while I wait for you guys to do yours, because everyone's technique looks great. Have a little rest, Steve. Nice, Chris. Well done. Have some water, and then we're going to go into a core exercise. So I can show you guys how to just be aware of your core muscles when we're doing these things. And really, I should probably start with this one, because ideally you should be doing this through all exercises. Again, Chris, take your time. I'm just going to start explaining. You've been through this with us. So the way this works, I just want you to start finding your core muscles to start off with, which sounds weird, but just lying flat on the wall with your knees bent, you'll often find that your back arches in this position. So the way we stop that, that means that essentially these muscles aren't contracting properly. So the way we want to stop that is you want to take your belly button and suck your belly button as close to the spine or deep into the ground as you can. You'll see when you do that, your your hips actually tilt as you do that. As you're sucking that belly button down, you'll feel your hips tilt and then your back goes flat against the ground. So that's the position we want you in the whole time, okay? Another way to do that as well is just these two hip bones that are here. When you pull that belly button down, you can squeeze those two hip bones together without letting your knees go together. So squeezing those hip bones without letting that happen, okay? So just try that for me before, well, actually, let's go into the dead bug. No, wait, don't do that. Start that for me, just knees bent, and just feel that your lower back is slightly arched. And then when you suck your belly button down, you can feel how your back goes flat against the ground. Then just relax, and then just do another one of those. You should feel that working quite well. Good. Okay, so that's the position you're going to be in for the dead bug. Okay, and the dead bug works like this if you want to have a look. So knees up at 90 degrees. So everything's at 90 degrees over here. Hands are up as well. We suck the belly button deep into the ground. And then from there, opposite hand and opposite leg goes back. Other hand stays up. Right, so we stay in that position, slowly extending the legs and the hands. Really, while the whole time keeping this lower back flat. Okay, slowly opposite hand, opposite leg. Slowly extending back. And we're going to do 10 on each side. Okay, when you're ready, you can go. So legs up, right hands up. Suck the belly button in first, flat back. That's the focus. That's the important part. And now keeping in that position, belly button flat, slowly extend the leg back, and we're going to do 10 on each side. Only go as far as your back allows. So if you feel your back is lifting there, only go that far. Okay. Good. Back to center, and then keep the one hand up, and the other hand goes back above the head. Back above the head. Yeah, the cohorts will come. Yes, Steve, there we go. Well done. Nice, Chris. Good, Steve. That's it. Concentrating. Make sure that lower back is flat. Looks good, guys. Well done. Concentrate on the cohorts. It does get complicated. And try and keep your knees at 90 degrees when they come back to center. Yeah, well done. Excellent. Technique looks good so far. 3 sets. Well, we're going to do 10 on each side, and we're going to do 3 sets. Good. Well done. So it should be 20 in total. Once you've done your 20, have a little rest. And we're going to do 3 sets. Okay. So I'll join you guys for the next one. You guys seem to have the technique down, so that's good. Right. Slowly down, nice and controlled. Sucking the belly button in the whole time. Try and come back to center with the knees at 90, hands up above you. Good. And again, the focus is on that lower back. So make sure that the back is flat rather than the extension on the legs or the hands. It's all about this movement here and controlling everything in the core rather. The legs and the hands are just a stimulus for your pelvic stability to really start working properly. Good. Well done, guys. That's looking good. Just 10 on each side. If you're struggling with 10, that's fine. You can drop it down to 8 and build yourself up slowly. Well done. Looking good. Chris, are you okay? Give us a thumbs up. Okay, good. Well done. Last set, I think. Have we done 3 or we got 1 more to go, 1 more to go. Have a little rest and then we're going to do the last one. Good. Yep, you guys are doing nicely. Focus on that lower back. Keep the belly button sucked in down to the ground, even if you don't extend your legs as far. Well done, guys. That looks good. Codes are coming. We seem to be getting it. Well done. Good. Okay, I've got two more exercises that I'd like to do just to focus on today. Just wait for everyone to finish. Chris, take your time. Steve, I'll just start with you in the meantime. We're going to do a lunge, okay? And the same as a squat, when people lunge, I mean, even if they do a walking lunge, they normally step and they lean forward and this knee goes over the toe. And that's not what we want again, right? So we don't want this knee to be passing the toe. We want that we want all the pressure to be on the heel. So to start off, so I'd like to do a static lunge just as a teaching point. So this back leg will be nice and light, and this front leg, you can see, is exactly perpendicular to the ground. Okay, so this stays the same. This leg doesn't lean forward or back. This leg stays there, and the movement essentially is a downwards movement from there. So my knee is not going over my toe, all right? And from there, you can also just add in a bit of arm action. So opposite hand to the bent leg, and a bit of an arm action. And again, all the pressure is on this front heel. It's not on the back or on the toe. You could even almost have your toes up. And we're doing that. Okay, let's do around 6 of those. I'll talk you guys through it. So I'll just make sure that we've got the technique right. So one leg forward, light foot on the back. You can almost be on your toes on the back foot a bit. Yeah, make sure you're on your toes on the back. Good. And then from there, movement is down to the ground. Yes. Steve, you can take a little bit of a step forward, just slightly, because your legs are long. Yeah, there we go. Good. Chris, that looks good. Okay, and then go from there. Just make sure you're on your toe on the back foot, so you're not doing a calf stretch as well. Good, and the movement is down into the lunge. Nice, Chris. Good, Steve. And then all the pressure's on that front heel. So as you're stepping up, yeah, step into that front heel. That's good. We're going to do 8 on each side. Try, once you've got the legs going, try and get the arm action. So it's an opposite arm to the bent leg. When you're stepping up, press down into that front heel. Keep your arms bent. Sorry, it's like a running action, so don't have them straight. Bent arms. Good. We're going to do 8 on each side. Good, Chris. You can be a little bit lighter on that back foot. Yeah, just make sure your toe is, yeah, don't have your foot flat on the back foot. That's better. Otherwise, you're going to hurt your calf. Nice. Good. Yeah, Steve, that looks good. More of a downwards action. Yeah. So don't rock too much on that front leg. Chris, I worry about Brad with that uppercut action of yours. He must just he must watch himself, because you've got a good little uppercut there. So Chris, just watch yourself when you are doing that. what's actually happening is as you are rotating your arms, so when you're coming down, you're actually rotating your torso. So don't do that. Okay, try and keep this nice and stable, and just the arm action. Okay, so from there, so that you're not. We do lunges where we rotate, but for now, I just want you to have the stability in the pelvis first. Really, just looking out for Brad with that uppercut punch of yours. On your back toe, Chris, as well. Don't have your foot flat. Okay, we're just going to do 2 sets of this, just in the interest of time. So if you're ready, you can do your second set of 8 on each side. Just a nice heel pressure on the front leg. Yes, better, Chris. Good. Nice. And don't let that front knee go over the toe. The movement is down. It's not an extension forward. That's better, Steve. Good, guys. Good. Really good stuff. From here, we'd obviously extend that into progressions of this lunge, but this is a great way to get the lunge right, okay? So that you're not going over that front leg. You're just getting some good stability here. We don't want to have too much rotation or compensation. You just really want to get the glutes and the quads and the hammies working nicely. Good. Good. Just keep going. Finish up your set. Okay. And then for the last exercise, if you guys have a sweat towel near you, or even a t-shirt or something, even a tablecloth or something that can slide easily on your floor. And then we're going to take, well, I think Steve's already up. Everyone's got their shoes off except me, right? So socks and shoes off. We're just going to do some foot crunches. So I'll just point this down. So you just roll your towel. It's not even the afternoon yet. So you put your towel out in front of you, okay, and using one foot. So put your heel on the edge of the towel. What I want to see here is that you are getting to use all your toes, so not just one toe, and that there's an equal scrunch with all the toes, and you want to get a little bit of an arch in the foot. I don't want to see like sort of rocking over. Try and keep the foot stable, and then from there we just, it's like mini bicep curls for the toes, pulling the towel close to you. Whenever you're ready, you can get going, and just pull the towel as much of the towel as you can get, and then obviously you'll have to take it out, roll it out again, and do the same foot. So let's do the 3 sets on the same foot. So don't alternate, just scrunching that toe, that towel as much as you can. Yeah, and trying to get a good arch here in the foot, and using all the toes. Make sure there's almost like an equal squeezing of all the toes. Also keeping the foot still. Don't let the foot rock from side to side. And obviously we want to do the seated so that only the foot is working and nothing else. We're going to do 3 sets of, well, it should be around 15 to 20 reps. I mean, obviously it just depends on your towel and how much how long it is. But we really want to we want to do all 3 sets on the one foot so that your foot is working under fatigue. That's essentially what it does when it's running as well. Good. Foot might be getting a little bit tired, but that's fine. That's the whole point. It might feel like it wants to cramp. There's tiny little muscles in there that are working quite hard. So just do 3 on each foot. I'm going to switch to the other foot. This is my bad foot. This foot doesn't like to do things. Probably why it doesn't have any toenails either. Good. I know it seems minuscule, but these exercises are so important. this foot exercise, I think I've said it in the other classes. You can do this every day if you want to. A couple of the ex-elites that I worked with would wake up and do some foot crunches, a couple of calf raises, and a mobility drill every morning as they woke up, which really, really helps. These foot ones, yeah, the more you do them, the better, especially if you're doing them properly. Well, you should be, yeah, ideally doing them properly. Oh, yeah, this left foot of mine doesn't like to do this. You can see my whole calf and lower limb tries to compensate. So should actually just slow it down. Don't rush it. Even if you do less reps, but more controlled. There we go, that's a bit better. Okay. You guys can just finish up your 3 sets. We're going to stretch a little bit, and then we are done. Good. You can leave your socks and shoes off while you guys are busy. I'm just going to pop mine back on. Looks good. I'm just going to do a quick little stretch. We didn't do a lot, but I just want to stretch out the lower limb a little bit. Okay, when you guys are ready. All right. Okay, so let's just stretch a little. Okay, so just standing up. We're going to pop one foot over the other. So yeah, bend with straight legs, and then you're going to slowly just roll yourself down and as far as you can. So one foot over the other, just slowly rolling yourself down. Even if you don't touch the ground, that's fine. Just go as far as you can. Looking at your knees. Don't look up, look at your knees. And with each exhalation, just take yourself a little bit further if you can. Just go as far as you can, but try and relax the neck. So don't look up, relax your neck. Good. Try and keep your knees straight if you can. Good. Breathing in and out, and deep breath out, and almost allow yourself to fall down a little bit more. Good. And then slowly roll yourself up. And then switch sides. So swap the other leg over the other. And then again, slowly rolling down. Trying to go, just relax yourself down, straight legs. Breathing out. Okay, and you can slowly roll yourself up. Just while we're standing, we're going to lean against something just for some balance. That glutes warm-up that we did, we're going to do that again, but now we hold it in a static way. So cross the one leg over the other, sit yourself down, and we're going to just hold that for a few seconds. Just make sure you got something to balance with. Just almost sit yourself down, and you should feel it on the outside of the bum. Even try to sit yourself back a little bit, almost like the same as the squat, like put your bum back. I'll show you that from the side. You can, almost, I mean, I'm lucky I have this balance beam here, but you don't feel it, you can sit yourself more back. Okay, and we can swap sides. Okay. Right, and then the last one I just want to do is just a bit of the hip flexors. So just leaning. Make sure you're leaning on a mat or something because it can hurt the kneecap or the patella. Right, and you're leaning forward, so the angle is here in your in the hip, right? So this leg you can see is straight. Okay. Don't be at an angle, so keep your both your hips facing forward, and then from there, just reaching up that one hand. Good. Yep. Yep. Steve, yep. Put your hand up in front of you. That's it. Yep. Good. There we go. Chris, you can lean a bit more forward, and then you'll feel it even more. That yeah, there it is. Well done. Just go within your own limits, though. Obviously, don't push yourself beyond that. Nice. Okay, and we can swap. Same thing, leaning forward, you'll feel the slight stretch. The minute you lift up your hand, you'll feel it even more. Try and keep don't arch the back. So again, suck in that belly button, keep the back flat, push the bum forward. Good. And relax. Okay. Awesome, guys. Thanks for that. I hope everyone enjoyed, and I hope, I hope that helps, Steve. I hope that hamstring's good. You must enjoy your sailing trip. And Chris, you've really come a long way there. So this is really, really good stuff. Well done. We will change up the exercises next week. So we'll still focus around hip hinge, squat, core, and a bit of a pulling kind of movement, but we might do some different exercises. So it'll be a good another 3-week block. Okay.
Cool. Thank you very much, Shona. Thanks, everyone. Stephen, have a safe trip. Enjoy. And Shona, you and I will chat again a little bit later on the strength class. So have a good afternoon.
Dev's got strength.
Oh, Dev doing the class today. Okay, cool. Yep. Perfect. So Dev and I will hang out a little bit later, but we'll have the recording up in a few minutes, and we'll catch up in the forums. Cheers, everyone.